What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a preview because we play Milan. We're back. Football is back finally. It's been a very long 2 weeks of international break. It's been tough for us, with all the injuries. One being Cabal out for the season, the other one being Vlahović, not out for the season, but probably out for quite some time, I think. So we do have quite some issues to deal with. Moving forward, we have some difficulties that we need to overcome in the next couple of weeks from now until let's say the end of December, before we have a little break with the Supercoppa in between, and then potentially a transfer market of I don't know what magnitude. We need help. So it's been tough. It will get worse. It will get tougher with all the games that are coming up because you play Milan away. Obviously, that's one. But it doesn't stop there. You go to Aston Villa. You have Man City still. And you have a very, very small squad right now. That's just the reality of the matter. You have a very thin squad at this moment in time. You just need to accept it. That's what Motta kind of talked about in his presser, that it is what it is. The injuries, they're part of football, injuries. However, they're just piling on in a very, very very quick amount of time. It feels like we're just a day away from another injury being announced, basically. But it is what it is. We cannot change that. And Motta cannot change that. The players cannot change that. We need to deal with it. We need to deal with it despite, the issues. We still need to go out there and win games. Deliver good performances as well, but especially win games, because we drew too many games in the league. Is it 6-1, 6 draws? It's too much. 6 draws is not good. Like, it's good that we're still undefeated in the league at this moment in time. That's fine. That's all good and well, and that's nice to have. However, 6 draws in the league is too much. You're still only 2 points off the top. I think it is 2, 3. But yeah, 6 draws is way too much. Then at least it needed to be 3 at max. But we have 6, and with basically a full squad, and now we have half a squad basically, and we are gonna need to turn those draws into wins, and definitely not into L's or more draws. But let's get started talking about what Motta had to say. Actually, it was a very good presser, probably one of the best pressers in a very, very, very long time, because there are a lot of things to talk about, obviously, with all the injuries and all and that stuff. But the international break got dominated by Vlahović because of his injury, obviously. But a couple of days before that injury, it was about his interview that he gave, where he actually took, in my opinion, some sort of shot towards Motta. Where he said that at Serbia, the national team, he's fresher in front of goal because he doesn't need to defend as much as he needs to do, basically with Juve. So that was a quote. That was kind of a dig. I made a video and I said that I'm calm because I know, I believe in Motta, so I believe that he will deal with that situation in his own way, and he did that. His answer was perfect. It was just spot on, and it couldn't have dealt with better. So he said that we talked and we're on the same page. The important thing is that we agree here. Everyone runs, everyone attacks together, and everyone defends together. I have great confidence in all my players, including Dusan. And then he added, I trust my players. They know what to do in both phases. It's an obligation, not an option. That's what I basically, I do believe that Vlahović is looking at, the way he needs to play at Juve. And maybe it is more defensive work and whatever. He's looking at it and he's like, man, this is not for me, This is not what I want to do. And I'm like, fine, I believe that 100%, because at the end of the day, everybody has his own style of play, and if you're open with it, if excuse me, it depends on who you are, obviously. It depends on the type of player you are. the wrong part was basically that he said it out loud, maybe, but I was composed, I was calm, because I know that Motta will deal with that perfectly, and he dealt with that perfectly. At the end of the day, he's the coach, and you're gonna need to do what like Allegri was a coach last season, and the players needed to do what he asked him to do. And that wasn't good enough at the end of the day. That's why he got sacked. That's why we changed a lot in the squad, because overall it wasn't good. And now it's the same case. If a coach comes in, you do what the coach asks you to do. If it's not your style, fine, you will get criticized for it. I get it. However, so will Motta. At the end of the season, if we struggle to keep scoring goals consistently, we will blame Motta for it. You will blame players individually, obviously, not playing well. But at the end of the day, you will blame Motta. You will look at Motta and you're like, man, you've been in the job for a year now, and since August until now, we still struggle to create chances. That's on you, because there's enough quality out there to do better game by game, But you will also look at individual players and you're like, okay, Vlahović, you scored, I don't know, 16 goals in the league. That's not enough. That's also on you. So at the end of the day, he said what he had to say. It's over. They dealt with it, and we move on, because actually we have bigger things to worry about. One of them, the game, obviously. And that's what he talked about next. Milan, very weird team this season. Beat Real Madrid. Don't beat Empoli, or was it Cagliari. I think they have 18 points with a game in hand, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. It's a bit up and down, If you ask Milan fan, and I did, they will be like, sack Fonseca, And you have some of them being like, sack him. No, keep him. No, sack him. So it's a weird one at Milan, who I think have a better squad than what they're showing now. Definitely. I don't think they have a world-class squad, whatever. But they are better, in my opinion, or they should be better. Let me formulate it better. They should be better than what the table is suggesting, If they are better, the table is a table, but they have more quality in the squad to be better in the table and to do better this season, So he said we cannot let Milan play the game they want. They have a lot of talented players and their own strengths. Milan are very strong in transition. They have players who suit that way of playing. We'll have to be attentive to layout, but to the others as well, like Reinders, for example. They have a lot of good players, and we have to be good at understanding the different situations within the game, when to attack and when to protect ourselves. I agree. On transition, they are good. They're actually very good. And if Leao's on form, he's on scintillating form. If he has a stinker, then he's an absolute stinker, and you have no problems with him on the entire game. So with him, in my opinion, it's more of a toss-up, which Leao will show up, and he will play against Savona, and that could be a disaster for Savona, or it could be a top-level game for Savona. Like, I don't think there will be an in-between tomorrow. But like I said, they have more quality than the table is suggesting, and it's still Milan Juve. If we play these top games, if we had Bremer fit and Cabal was fit, and we had a bench actually, and Vlahović was there, I would be so confident that we will beat Milan, no matter how good Milan are. If they were in good form, I would we will beat you guys. Right now, I agree with Motta, where we need to understand the moments of, we do not have subs tomorrow. Depending on what he's going to do, and we'll talk about that in a sec, he doesn't have options to change games, to impact games in a way where it's like, you can put in a Fagioli, but if he doesn't have a cracking goal or something, he's not really going to change a game. He's not that type of player, in my opinion. So we don't have any game changers on the bench right now. It is what it is. That's why I agree with him that we need to play a smart game. We cannot go down a goal, in my opinion. We cannot, we don't have players on the bench to turn it around. We can. So it needs to be smart. It needs to be controlled. The last couple of games, we played a more controlled game, in my opinion. We played better. We played more as a unit. Maybe not attractive. Probably not attractive football. Going forward, it wasn't, we were suffocating teams. We were putting them under so much pressure. That was not the case. But as a whole, as a unit, I thought we played better in the last couple of games. That needs to be the basis tomorrow. Be solid, and then go from there. See how Milan will play. Wait, and try to adapt which Milan you're gonna get tomorrow, because like you can go all guns blazing, like Motta said, if you get caught on transition and you go down a goal, it becomes extremely difficult with the squad at your disposal right now. So I don't think it's going to be a very open game from our part. I think we will just wait it out, see it out, and try to take our opportunities depending on which Milan side will pop up tomorrow. Obviously, that's the bigger question. Which Milan side will pop up? Will it be a very good Milan side? Will it be the Cagliari Milan side, or will it be the Inter Milan side? One of the two. And well, depending on that, you go, because it's pointless for us to go all guns out blazing tomorrow, because if you concede, it becomes extremely difficult. So that's why I think it's going to be very controlled, or we'll try to play control first half in at the San Siro tomorrow. With control, I mean just keep it safe, and then we'll go from there. That's what I'm expecting tomorrow. But let's move on to Timothy Weah, who probably will be our most important player right now. I will talk about him in the lineup even more, but he's doing well. Like, he is getting the numbers, probably the best numbers of his career so far. Like, at Lille, he didn't play up for, like, he played at the back as well at times, so maybe it's not fair towards him as well, but he's having a very good start to the season. He's scoring goals for the national team, for Juve, key goals, the movement in the box is good, so on, so on. On the wing, maybe not the most, how do you want to call it, the most decisive player, definitely not the most decisive player, but right now with Vlahović out, he shouldn't be playing on the wing, basically, quote unquote. He's going to be the striker, and Motta talked about that. He said, I'm happy with his development, and also that he's scoring, because that's important for attacking players. But what's most interesting is that he allows us to have a lot of different options. He's selfless, responsible, he understands instructions well, and he knows how to read the game. We're happy he's playing well. I thought was it week 2 in training camp, or was it week 3 in training camp? I'm not sure. I think it was week 3. I think it was when we went to Germany. I think it was. The rumors start leaking that we were getting linked to wingers and so on, because Chiesa was out of the door, Sule was out of the door, so on, and we were like, oh, we need this, and this, and the leaks from the club was actually Motta likes Timothy Weah really much. Like, he likes him a lot, and we were kind of all confused, and we were like, really? We haven't seen a lot of him last season. He was injured, didn't get picked, so on, so on. So when that news started leaking, I was like, interesting. And now fast forward 3 months, we are here with Motta actually preferring to play Weah even before the Vlahović injury, So we are in a situation, or we're in a moment where Motta really believes in Timothy Weah, and at this moment in time, it feels like, or I think Motta feels like, Timothy Weah is really going out there and proving Motta's point, for, okay, this is why you're playing me, and I'm one of the people who's still not convinced. However, he's convincing Thiago Motta, and that's why he's playing. Now with Vlahovic's injury, because I don't think he will be back for Villa. I know we got asked about that, Motta, and he said maybe not. I don't think it's gonna happen. We're gonna need Weah. We're gonna need his goals, obviously, 100%. We're gonna need him to score goals, but also we're gonna need to have him to have an impact, because even if he plays a striker, I don't think he'll play 90 minutes as a striker, knowing Motta. So he's going to go back to that wing again, and he's going to need to have a better impact on that wing position, in my opinion. But let's move on. Let's move on to another guy that we talked about all international break, because he's been linked with a move to PSG, to the Premier League for this January, which I think is extremely impossible. In the summer, I think that option is very possible, in my opinion, but he's not been playing much. He played that Leipzig game extremely well, didn't play well against Cagliari, disappeared from the squad since then. And Motta asked about that, and to be honest, refreshing, he was extremely honest about it. He said Fagioli has played less recently because the others have earned their place. But as I always say, even those on the bench know they have to be ready when called upon. Both he and McKennie, when called upon, know what they have to do. Well, that quote kind of tells you both of them are not going to play. Maybe McKennie. Again, I'll talk about that in a sec with the starting 11. Fagioli's not going to play, most likely. Unless this is a master plan in this deceiving Fonseca. But right now, I think he found his midfield that he's going to use. And it's Locatelli, Koopmeiners, and Thuram. I think he's going to build with that midfield. Like, I want consistency. And I will pick that midfield again. With Fagioli, like, he's a very inconsistent player. When he has his moments, when he has his days, he's unplayable almost. When he just have his okay moment, he doesn't really help the team at all, in my opinion. So with Fagioli, I thought what Motta said was refreshing because he was very honest. He said, well, others have been playing better, so that's why he's not playing. However, if you want to get back in the team, you play for it, you prove me, Motta being me, wrong. Which was an issue last season when we played Kostic over and over and over again. And we were all sitting here and saying, why the hell is Kostic playing? He's not playing well. Give somebody else, the opportunity, the chance to prove themselves. And that wasn't the case. Right now, it's very open. If you are not playing well, you're getting benched, no matter who you are. And the other guy is going to have the opportunity. That guy takes that opportunity. It's up to you to prove me wrong again, and win that spot back. So right now, Fagioli feels like he's in the doghouse, going off that quote, and also going off the last couple of games. Now, that being said, he was in Torino and he trained. Koopmeiners, Locatelli weren't. Thuram was. So, excuse me. But we will see. We will see. I don't think he's gonna start tomorrow. Nor should I. Nor should he start, in my opinion. And then the last one is Kalulu. Back to Milan. Back to his old team. Playing well overall this season. Had a bad 2-3 games. I think everybody had a horrible 2-3 games. After a Stuttgart game, it went south for a couple of games, weeks, whatever you want to call it. But lately, solid again. I thought he played at a very high level before that Inter game. And remember when I came on, I did my podcast with Julian, I was like, I'm waiting for him to come down a little bit back to earth because he was playing at such a level. I was like, where is this coming from, basically? And now, I think now he's still playing well. He's still playing well right now. He's not playing at that extreme level he was playing at the beginning of the season, but he's playing well again. But it's going back to your ex-team with a lot of questions. Why did you leave? And obviously in the summer there was that saga that he needed time. And maybe you can say the journalists were reaching and were like, he doesn't need time. I believed the journalists when they said that Kalulu asked for more time to think about it and so on. But Motta got asked about that, and Motta said that Kalulu has always believed in our project. He wants to come, and he has put himself at the disposal of the group since day one. He can cover a lot of positions at the back because he's smart. He knows how to lead, even without saying much. He always tries to improve and learn. We're happy with him, and he always maintains a high physical and mental level. Then he talked about that further on, saying he's a leader, even like you said, he doesn't speak much. He's a great leader at the back, so on, so on. Right now, my fear with Kalulu is the injury record, and we're one injury away from having Gatti and Danilo at the back, which is not good at all because we've seen it last season and it was poor. Like it was shocking at times, So that is the risk, with Kalulu always. However, he's been playing well. I know it's back to your ex-club and whatever. Will it go well? Will he have an absolute meltdown? Who knows? But right now, he's been playing well. And to be honest, at the back, he is the leader we have right now because he is one of the most experienced players. So, if not the most experienced. So, big game for him tomorrow. But we're going to need him to have a big game because I think tomorrow is going to be a very open game from Milan's side. I think they will come for us. I think they will attack. I think they will put a lot of pressure on us, and they will be ready for that game 100%. Let me see. Honestly, I see McKennie starting as right back tomorrow. We all like Savona, but against Leao, he could struggle. He could, but he didn't struggle against Kvara at the start of the season, so who knows? But I don't think Motta's going to play McKennie there. If you sell Vlahović, how much could we get for him? No idea. That's a question you need to ask me March. April, March. Right now, I have no idea, to be honest. But let's get into the starting 11, which is this one. I think, yeah. Okay, starting 11. Well, it picks himself. It picks itself, I think. But I have a funny feeling it's not going to be this. So, Sky Italia put out this starting 11, which are basically the fit players we have, and who usually play. So Di Gregorio, Gatti, Kalulu, Savona, Cambiasso, Locatelli, Koopman, Thuram, Conceição, Yildiz, and Timothy Weah up top. Now, I have a funny feeling, and I said it in my podcast, that one of Yildiz or Conceição will get benched, just purely to have something coming from the bench to have an impact. And my feeling is saying it's going to be Conceição that's going to be benched. And we're going to see something different. We're going to see maybe a way out up front. And we're going to see, like somebody said, maybe a Koopmeiners more advanced and McKennie interchanging. I have a funny feeling he's going to do something else rather than play this what's on your screen. Whatever, which I think everybody assumes is going to happen. Conceição, Weah takes Vlahovic's place. But I have a funny feeling that's not going to happen. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling. Now, is that team good enough to beat Inter? Yeah, Milan, 100%. My issue is that, or my fear is that, if it's not, we don't have anything on the bench. We don't have anything on the bench that's going to change that game. And if we go down a goal, and you're down a goal for quite a long, again, you come into a situation where it's going to be these guys who are going to need to make the difference, because the bench is not good enough right now. It's very slim. Like, there's not a lot to pick out. So that's my fear for tomorrow. So my prediction, and I said at the start of the show, we needed to win games, but I don't think we're going to win tomorrow. I'm going to go with 2-2. I have a feeling it's going to be 2-2. But we need that win. We need something positive going into that Villa game, because it can get dark really quickly in this period. Forget about the injuries, because that's already lights out. The moon is now shining. But with Milan and Villa, it can be a complete blackout. And then you're in trouble for the Champions League qualification and in the league as well, where it's like, okay, we have an issue with winning games. Actually, just winning games. We're not winning enough games. So 2-2 is my prediction. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we'll win, and it's a good feeling, with all the injuries. You beat Milan and you go to Villa and you move on, I guess. But my feeling is saying 2-2. And also, I don't think that's going to be the 11. I don't think that's going to be the 11. I'm expecting something else, up front. But let's see. Let's see tomorrow. Looking forward to the game. Finally football is back. So despite everything, still looking forward to it. But I'm going to wrap this one up. Quick preview. I'll be back tomorrow. Match reaction and Sunday live show as always. And then it's already build up for Villa. It's going fast. It's going fast. But that's it for me. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys soon.